It officially backfired. Meghan was furious when Harry's book dropped dramatically and was rated as the worst book about the royal family. Hello and a very warm welcome back to Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel. According to the latest analysis, over a week after the release of Harry's memoir Spare, he is facing a great decline because this memoir does not seem to be interesting to anybody anymore. Online reviews are giving it a 93% 1 star thanks to its awful content. The book contains a lot, we've got to say that. I mean, Harry settles scores with the royal family, and he also reveals some pretty vulgar things. And sources are confirming that Meghan Markle is not a happy camper right now. This book could help her earn millions of dollars, but ironically enough, her entire family is being put in a very dangerous circle. Disclosures aimed at increasing their protection from the royal family blew up in their faces, as Taliban fighters are demanding debt from Harry be paid. Meanwhile, the royal family is pretty indifferent to the book. They are maintaining their silence and dignity, as King Charles, as well as William and Catherine, continue to carry out their duties as usual. It's like a knife stabbing into Meghan and Harry's ambition because they're expecting to get into a tit-for-tat fight with the firm. And I'm sure Harry's just loving all the publicity and PR. For the first time in his life, he really is overshadowing his older brother, and he's making his own headlines all around the globe. And he's even taking center stage over Meghan, who it seems is just staying away from all the hype surrounding the publication of the book that she helped to write. So what exactly is Harry going to do when all of this attention stops and Harry has to go back to being just Harry once again? And what exactly is Meghan Markle busy scheming? Is he going to come down to earth and realize that he is all alone in this world because his friends have all left him? Will Harry finally figure out that all the millions of dollars that he got from Netflix when Penguin Random House amount to absolutely nothing if he doesn't have a family and friends to enjoy it with, and especially if Meghan Markle takes a big chunk out of it thanks to the divorce settlement? And where are Harry's next millions of dollars even going to come from? I think he has exploited his family about as much as he can. I don't see how there could be any revelation still to come. So what exactly is Harry's plan? What does he have to fall back on? I'm sure Harry's enjoying this high of self-importance right now, but how is he going to make it when the cameras aren't rolling any longer, when the interviews stop and Harry has to go back to wherever he's living? It seems like Montecito is being evacuated, so where is he going to go and what is he going to do? And from the sale of the book, is Harry actually going to give the millions that he promised to the charities? Now, Harry claims that he finds it cathartic to air all of his family's dirty laundry, but I don't think he even knows what that word means, because catharsis involves a whole network of emotional, neurological, spiritual, and physical responses, and I don't believe from what he says that he was ever in the past or likely in the future going to be capable of experiencing that feeling. I just find it very difficult to believe a lot of Harry's stories. And honestly, folks, he shows a lot of symptoms of being a sociopath. He's just as bad as Meghan. Harry found telling his story to the whole world cathartic, he says. Well, all right, Harry, good for you, but what about your family? What about all the people whose lives you have put at risk? What people need to understand is that deep emotion causes constriction of the larynx and the esophagus, and that causes somebody's voice to change. But did anybody out there notice any changes in Harry's voice during this very emotional discussion? Harry has had plenty of interviews with a bunch of famous people, and not one single time has he demonstrated any kind of emotional response. I mean, we do hear a lot of anger and resentment, but still, have there ever been any changes to Harry's voice? Broken up vocals that would suggest feelings? Well, that would be a no. Ever since Harry was a little boy, there have been some pretty big red flags when it comes to his behavior. Harry has a real violent streak. His cruelty to animals and wildlife is scary. And I know that his father, King Charles, tried many well-documented attempts and approaches to help him, but obviously nothing worked. And let's forget Diana. Harry was like this before she passed away. She cannot be his excuse. Then, when we factor in Harry's love of drugs and alcohol, we find a very dangerous man indeed. The sooner the truth comes out, the better. And Harry's army colleagues have even spoken out already because what he did to those working girls in Afghanistan went beyond. It more than crossed the line. And why should they continue to cover up Harry's misdeeds? The book is really just Harry's version of what happened and objective facts as seen through Harry's eyes. It's really just a guide to BS. As completely expected, Prince Harry's ghostwritten book has been subjected to a lot of scrutiny on every level in hopes of discovering some lies and inaccuracies. It didn't take very long for many examples to come out that call into question the veracity of this book. Many of the claims have already been proven to be false, and that brings up the question of how in the world did nobody from the publication team or his own ghostwriter manage to fact-check Harry's claims? Feelings, of course, cannot be fact-checked, but still, specific recollections of times and dates and places can easily be fact-checked. In the book, Harry goes into a lot of detail about finding out about his great-grandmother's passing. He was at Eton and he got a call from a courtier that he wants to remember the name of. And he even comments on the weather. Now, the press and the fact-checkers were excited to catch him out, and so they produced some articles and photos that show that Harry, in fact, was not at Eton. In fact, he was with his father and brother on a skiing holiday. And then, when he got cornered, Harry tells us that, his memory is not that great because of all the trauma that he's experienced, but that his versions of events have just as much truth as so-called objective facts. Okay, can someone really be that stupid? Well, I guess so. I guess someone is that stupid, and that someone is Harry. The objective fact is that Harry was not at Eton getting a phone call from a courtier telling him that his great-grandmother had passed away. It's an objective fact that he was out with his father and brother skiing. So Harry's whole elaborate story about learning about the death of his great-grandmother doesn't contain an ounce of truth. The objective facts stand alone on their own merit, but Harry's recollections don't have any merit whatsoever. And if this were the first time that Harry had ever been found out to be lying, then we could easily chalk things up to misremembering events. But this is not the first time, and it's not the second either. And if your memory is that bad, well, you need to hire a fact checker so that you don't need to make these ridiculous statements that show you're a complete imbecile. And no, Harry, despite what Meghan may have told you, the truth is not whatever you claim it is. Your memories are not equal to objective facts either. But this is the Harry that we have come to know now, and the Harry that we don't like very much. He's never going to own up to his mistakes, and he's never going to learn from them. Harry's going to keep on blaming other people for anything and everything so that he can avoid taking responsibility. Harry did make a mistake, though, in believing that anyone outside of his very small fan base is going to buy into the steaming pile of BS that is Harry's avoidance of admitting that he did anything wrong. And you, do you agree with our news? Please let me know your opinion below in the comment section, and everyone else can also discuss Meghan and Harry. If you preferred our video this evening, don't be afraid to like and share it with anyone else who would enjoy it. And please click the subscribe button below to get more videos from our team. Now thank you so much for tuning in, goodbye, and I'll be back to see you all in the next videos.